Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law. Through this channel I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 Million Challenge. So if anybody's not aware of this, this is a genuine investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategy called compound return investing. So the objective is try to get 201 trades, each with an average return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades, we do take into account losses. So for further details about how to join us for less than $9 a month, information is available in the description below. In today's video we're going to be looking at MMTLP and we'll be providing a legal update in terms of Sam Draddy, who speaks about the blue sheets, and then we're going to be looking at updates for tick symbol MMAT, which is now known as MMATQ, and also an update for tick symbol RILY, which was one of the few winners today in the big sell-off. So before we get started, let's have a look at what's happening in the markets. In terms of the current market right now, stocks are falling. The big tech bubble has popped. Oil prices are falling quite significantly. So the question is this potentially going to lead to a recession? Gold prices are also falling. There is obviously an expectation of a rate cut coming up in September. Bond prices are also falling. Inflation potentially could be on the move, but we have to wait and see. Natural gas prices falling, and crypto is also falling. So not great overall for the market. And one particular stock that had a significant dip today, we can see here, is Nvidia, down in excess of 10% at $107.30. So potentially a good buying opportunity there. And finally, if we have a look at the heat map here, we can see Nvidia right now is looking at the biggest drop, daily drop since April 2024, and the magnificent stocks, 7 stocks have now raised $550 billion in market cap today, so not a great day. So let's now move on to have a look at the legal update for MMTLP. So shout out here to Scott, who's updated the motion to put Sam Draddy in the witness stand in the US District Court based on the problems with the affidavit he submitted and the evidence that was not very accurate. FINRA is fighting with everything they have to keep the blue sheets out of the judge's hands. And another post just shared by Scott is the FINRA now have added another attorney. So in total, Scott, remember, who is not a qualified attorney, is now facing 11 attorneys. So again, quite staggering there in terms of the cost they are and amount of money they are spending in defending against Scott. So we can see in terms of the update, again, the first amended complaint, a reminder that Scott is taking action against Ari Rubenstein, GTS Securities, Charles Schwab, FINRA, and Gary Gensler. So in terms of the key updates, what he stated here is a motion for an evidentiary hearing under FRCP 43 Part C, and the motion is connection with the defendant FINRA's opposition to Scott's expedited motion for limited discovery. So Scott is seeking to test the weight, for sufficiency and truthfulness of the affidavit of the FINRA fraud officer Sam Draddy. So was Sam involved in any fraud? We hope to find out, because he certainly uncovered some fraud. And it goes on to say the affidavit submitted by Mr. Draddy contained factual assertions that are central to the defendant FINRA's opposition to Scott's motion for expedited limited discovery. So these assertions are disputed by Scott, who believes they are insufficient, inaccurate, and require further examination through cross-examination and additional evidence. So obviously it's going to be a case of Sam is going to be cross-examined, hopefully. In addition to the notes here, it states here, FINRA's opposition memorandum makes several misreadings of Scott's motion and contends that the blue sheet should not be released to him. And what FINRA do not understand is that Scott has made no such request, and in Scott he wants them provided by FINRA under seal to the court as provided for in his motion for expedited limited discovery. So it looks like maybe FINRA are not even reading things. And he goes on to say, in terms of the key points from Sam Draddy, he asserts that the blue sheet data is too complicated for individuals to understand without extensive training. Scott challenges he's reviewed an audio of the SEC's former chief at the Office of the Internet Enforcement, Mr. John Reed, and I've heard that statement from John myself. hosted at a webcast September 2023, and it describes the ease at which blue sheet data can be obtained and used. So I will second that, and I have heard that, so that is certainly true. And that would be useful to cross-examine Draddy about the veracity of what was presented in the court. In terms of the affidavit, Mr. Draddy himself asserts that certain data within the blue sheets is retained while other data is not. And Scott contends that the assertion is at odds with FINRA's Rule 203 Part B Section 2, and this mandates that FINRA must maintain sufficient data to locate and confirm the existence of naked short sales. So obviously it looks like FINRA are not doing that, and it raises serious concerns about whether the critical evidence is being maintained in compliance with FINRA's obligations, which is certainly a significant concern. And on number 3 here, Scott is claiming that the blue sheet data contains proprietary information that should not be disclosed without compromising sensitive information, and Scott disputes this. That was the allegation from Mr. Draddy, and Scott disputes this, arguing that the data could be computer sterilized or anomalized, so to protect whoever they want to protect. And number 4, the blue sheet data for MMTLP has already been produced, and I think the evidence for this is the FOIA and the emails that we have seen. Number 5, apparently FINRA does have the codes for whether a trade is closed or whether it's short or long, and are retained that way. Draddy has stated 20 electronic blue sheet data does not contain information about whether or how a short position was covered or whether a short sale is naked. And what we can see here in terms of the next part, Scott argues that since brokers are required to report options trades that are tied to short positions, both covered and open, the blue sheet data would include details of these transactions. So it looks like FINRA are fighting very, very hard to protect this. And now if we have a look at details with regard to FINRA is making the case that arguably the most powerful system in place in the entire stock market, the ability of the apex predators, GTS, Citadel, Virtue, etc., to create unlimited naked shorts with no locate requirement, has zero traceability. So that basically suggests, it argues not just for evidentiary hearing, but for the cessation and operations of FINRA. And again, Rule 203 Part B at the bottom, it also explained with regard to market makers and the activities. And if we go on to the final section, we see here that Scott would like an opportunity to cross-examine Mr. Draddy, present evidence that may contradict the assertions made in his affidavit. And in conclusion, Scott is respectfully requesting the court grant an evidentiary hearing under Rule 43C of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure to test the accuracy and sufficiency of the affidavit submitted by FINRA fraud officer Sam Draddy in connection with Scott's expedited motion for limited discovery. So again, I think overall very well put here by Scott. The next update is for MMAT, or what is now called MMATQ, trading on the OTC. So what we can see here from StockCube, it states that it seems like it's bye-bye Vlepsis, and although he's happy that the legacy lives on, he also wants to know what was the deal made with Christina Lovato, who was the bankruptcy trustee. So we can see here the trademark and or should we say the patent for Vlepsis by Metamaterials was abandoned and obviously now owned by someone else. So what we can see the post from Brian, he states Vlepsis may be gone, but the technology lives on. So congratulations to whoever is now in charge of that technology. And finally, shout out to the previous video. Go ahead and check this out, where we talk about the 3 strong buy stocks for September 2024. And in terms of an update for the trading, positive news in terms of an update from the trading market today, is ticker symbol RILY. This was called in the Discord in terms of our news section, which is a live trading and data alert section, and this post news within the minutes of it breaking. So we've got the news with regard to RILY in terms of a deep dive into why this is interesting, and we know that RILY had a great day today in terms of a market that was very, very bad overall. And finally, if you would like to get full access to this live trading data and alert section in the Discord, as well as a copy of our weekly watch list and daily stock alerts, details are in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.